Once upon a time, a long time ago, a baby named Jesus was born in a manger in Bethlehem. I'm sure you've all heard quite a bit about Jesus' birth before. You know that there were shepherds and wise men, and stars and barn animals around when he was born. That's quite a list, but there really weren't many there when you think about it. You think the whole world would have shown up for the birth of its Savior. We hear a lot about the people and animals that went to the manger. Let's find out about the ones that stayed away. Hello over there. Excuse me, pardon me, folks. Nice day, isn't it? While I'm still young. Yo, you got it. Say, aren't you people shepherds?
Yep.
So did you go to Bethlehem to see the baby?
Nope.
But I thought there were supposed to be shepherds there. That must have been some other shepherds.
Yep.
Well, why didn't all of you go? What's that? A union contract. Let's see what it says. Shepherd's Union Local number 404. Minimum acceptable working conditions, Article 5. No shepherd of Union Local 404 shall be required under any circumstances to venture more than 1 hour's distance from his or hers usual field of abiding. The aforementioned shepherd may venture further if he or she so chooses, but only if the weather isn't cold, the sheep aren't sick, and he or she really feels like it. Let's see if I got this straight. You didn't go to see the baby because it's not in your job description, is that right?
Yep.
You guys don't take many risks, do you?
No.
Guess you never get hurt that way. But you missed out on a real big event. Where are you going? I wanted to ask you a few more questions. Oh, Article 6, of course. No shepherd of Union Local 404 shall be required under any circumstances to answer a lot of nosy questions from a complete stranger. A couple questions maybe, but not too many. Guess they missed seeing the baby because they didn't want to change their routine. Even today, I guess we're all afraid to change sometimes. Are you the three wise ones?
Yes, indeed we are. Absolutely.
No question about it.
You must be the ones that went to see the baby in Bethlehem. And you brought in gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right?
Well, actually, we were a bit tied up that day.
Tied up?
Yes. You see, there was this very important scholarly conference that we absolutely had to attend.
Yes, terribly important. Terribly important.
Wouldn't have missed it, really. It was certainly an intellectual milestone.
What was the conference about?
I can't say that I remember exactly, but it was a very important conference.
Say, what was that conference about anyway?
Let me see. Oh yes, I've got it. The exact title of the conference was Celestial Signs That Will Indicate the Birth of the Messiah, Technical and Theoretical Aspects.
Yes, that was it.
Exactly. Good of you to remember.
Celestial signs. Does that mean stars and things like that?
Yes, exactly. You're a well-educated person.
Thank you. So you must have spent a lot of time looking through telescopes.
Well, no. Actually, the conference was inside. There weren't even any windows in the meeting rooms. That made it easier to see the slides.
We were quite busy the whole week. I didn't get a chance to go outside at all.
Nor did I. Nor I.
Then you didn't see the star.
What star?
The huge star up in the sky. Some other wise men followed to the manger in Bethlehem. They say they saw the Christ child.
Nonsense. The star-directed theory has never been proven. Very scanty evidence. Very scanty evidence.
Are you sure it wasn't a rainbow? Some of the more influential wise ones are convinced the sign will be a rainbow.
The star theory is definitely out. The rainbow theory is much more credible. I personally favor the lightning bolt theory. So dramatic.
But you missed baby.
Couldn't have been the right baby. The star theory's out.
Absolutely not. Could it be?
Yes, the lightning bolt theory is interesting. I was discussing that with a friend just the other day.
Let's not forget the meteor shower theory. The meteor shower theory. A bit overrated if you ask me.
Too bad.
Indeed.
Well, it seems that these wise ones were too preoccupied with their theories to notice the coming of the Christ child. Ideas can get in the way sometimes, especially if you really like them. Speaking of stars, I'll bet you didn't know that the star over the manger was actually supposed to be a whole bunch of stars of all different sizes, kind of like a fireworks display. But some of the stars chickened out at the last minute. That looks like them over there. You are some of the best looking stars I've ever seen. But then I've never really seen a star up close before. You must be young stars. That's why you're so bright. So did you stars shine for the baby in Bethlehem? Were you sick that day? Did your mom and dad make you stay home? Did you fall from the sky? Was it too cold out for stars? Did you have to stay inside at night? Well then, why didn't you shine for the baby in Bethlehem? Excuse me, could you say that a little louder?
Because we're too shy.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess we know why the stars didn't go. They were too shy.
Ooh, I never thought I'd get out of those shops live. Never in my whole life seen so many people.
Pardon me, but it seems like you had a very busy day.
Busy. Busy. Honey, when you're an innkeeper's wife, you're always busy. But you're right, today was especially bad.
Why is that?
There's just a lot to do, that's why. I've had to buy gifts for all the relatives, his family and mine. And I've had to buy and stuff this turkey and all the stuff that goes with it. And all these decorations. And of course, that's not the end of it. Oh no. Now I have to wrap all these presents and clean and stuff this bird and put up all these dumb decorations. On top of that, we've got an inn that's crammed to overflowing with a holiday crowd. Busy? Honey, right. Now I've got a busyness degree.
So you and your husband run this inn, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
It was very nice of him to let the pregnant woman stay in the barn.
There's a pregnant woman in the barn.
Well, not anymore. She had the baby.
Oh, brother.
Maybe you could go out and see it sometime.
Now you listen here, Buster. I've got way too much to do to spend time coochie-cooing some little baby.
But this is a special baby.
Buster, they're all special. Is that baby going to help me with all this work?
Well,
Of course not. It's a holiday season and I have no time to spend with that baby.
are you leaving?
Yes, I have work to do.
Kind of interesting, isn't it? She got the Messiah in her backyard, and she hasn't got time to go and see him. Some of her barn animals will get closer to Jesus than she will. Some of her barn animals, but not all of them. So you were right there in the barn when the baby Jesus was born.
No.
You weren't inside the barn at all?
No.
You always have to stay outside.
No.
Why didn't you go inside to see the baby?
We're not good enough to see the baby.
But some of the other animals went inside.
We're not good enough to see the baby.
Nobody's good enough to see that baby, but some went to see him anyway.
We're not good enough to see the baby. We're not good enough to see the baby.
But you don't have to be good. The baby was born because none of us are good. I guess you get the picture. The barn animals just didn't think they were good enough to see the Christ child. Well, that about wraps it up. I hope we've given you a little introduction to some of the folks that stay away from the manger. Just in case you've forgotten already, I'll remind you one more time. Remember the shepherds? Shepherds! This one, they must be taking a union break or rewriting their union contract. Oh, here they come. They stayed away because they didn't think it was their responsibility to go. It wasn't in their job description. And how about the wise ones? You remember them? They stayed away because their ideas were more important to them than the baby. Then there were the stars. They stayed away because they were
Too shy.
After the stars, we met the innkeeper's wife. She was too busy with holiday preparations. Finally, we met some barn animals. They didn't think they were good enough. How about you? Will you stay away from a manger this Christmas?
Yes, how about you?
We'd like to end by singing the first Noel. It's number 300 in your hymnal. We'll do verses 1, 3, and 4.
They don't want to come forward, but guys, we want to thank you for sharing with us the story. It's always a mystery about those who didn't come to the manger and why. But we certainly do and understand why after now seeing you all. So thank you so much.